All right, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to get away from that equational line thing. We're going to go back to something we talked about 2 lessons ago. Remember the parallel lines and transversal stuff? Yes? No? Remember parallel lines cut by transversal? Yes. Okay. Let's do this. Let's draw a couple lines. Are they parallel lines? How do you know? That's right, they don't have the arrows. Well, let's put some arrows on there. Now are they parallel? Absolutely. What's that line called?
Transversal.
Very good. That's a transversal. Now watch. I want you to think, this is just a little review of what we did earlier. Let's do this down here. What we always said was this. Now let's listen carefully. Let's not have any comments. Let's just pay attention up here. All right? What we said earlier, we're going to change things around a little bit, but this is what we did earlier in the other lesson. I think it was like 3-2 or something like that. All right? It said if the lines are parallel. So I always started saying if the lines were parallel, comma, then ... Then we learned a bunch of stuff if the lines were parallel, didn't we? What was the first thing that we learned? We learned that what? If the lines were parallel, then something was equal. What was the first one? Yeah, which angles? Give me a name.
The top right.
No, not vertical. Yeah, that was one of them. What was the very first one we learned? It was corresponding, right. Okay, so I'll just shorthand it. Corresponding angles were equal. Now this is a big if. It was if the lines were what? Were parallel. If the lines were parallel, then the corresponding angles were equal. Look at, what was the second one we learned? Somebody already said it. Alternate interior. Okay, so, oh, what's that mess? Let's try that again. Alright, then the alternate interior angles were equal. What was the third one? Good. Alternate exterior angles were equal. And what was the fourth one? Consecutive what? Interior angles. Now, they weren't equal this time. What were they? They're supplementary. Very good. Okay? But we had a big if at the beginning of it, didn't we? If what? If the lines are parallel. So, if I would do this, could you tell me that 1 and 2 are equal to each other?
No.
No. Okay? They're not necessarily equal to each other, but if what? If the lines are parallel, then what could you tell me? That 1 and 2 are equal, okay? So, as long as I knew that the lines are parallel, I could say that the alternate interior angles were equal. Same thing with corresponding, same thing with alternate exterior, and we also said the consecutive interior, 3 and 2, would be what? Supplementary, which means they do what? Add up to what? 180. Okay, so that's fresh in your mind now, right? You remember all that stuff. We did a lot of stuff with that, didn't we? But this time, watch. This time we're not going to know the lines are parallel. We're going to know something different. What we're basically doing, you know how we started with if and then? If the lines are parallel, then all that other stuff was true? You guys watching? Okay, put that down. Why? Okay. If the lines are parallel, then all that stuff was true about the angles, right? What do you think we're going to do today? We're going to take those and flip them around. So we're not going to say if the lines are parallel, then all those angles are equal. What do you think we're going to do? If the angles are what? No. Watch. Here's what we said. Here's what we said earlier. Watch. If the lines, this is all shorthand here. If the lines are parallel, then we'll just say the angles are equal. Is that all right? Corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior. You also had the supplementary in there, but just for the sake of argument, let's just say if the lines are parallel, then the angles are equal. If we flip them, change the if and the then. So now it's going to say if what? If the angles are equal, then what? Then the lines are parallel. Do you see that? I'm a little sloppy here, but that's okay. That's what we're going to do. So watch what I'm going to do right here. Watch. I'm going to call this angle 1 and angle 2. What do you know about angle 1 and 2 right now? They're corresponding angles. That's all you know. You don't know they're equal, do you? All right, because you don't know these lines are parallel. But you know they're corresponding angles. What if I did this, though? What if I said this? Okay? Right. Now the corresponding angles are what? are equal. So now this says what? What do you think? It says if the corresponding angles are equal, then what do you think? Yeah, let's name them. Let's call it L and M. Then line L must be what? Parallel to line M. You follow me? Do you see the difference in this? Before, when we first did this, we started off with the, not assumption, but the if part, the prerequisite, that the lines were parallel. We started off knowing that line L is parallel to line M. We don't know that this time, do we? Because there's no arrows. You see it? Yeah. But we do know something about the corresponding angles. We do know that the corresponding angles are equal to each other. So if the corresponding angles are going to be equal, guess what must be true about these two lines? They got to be parallel. Okay? Does that make sense? All the other stuff comes into place too. So let's do some more. If the what? If the alternate interior angles are what? Equal, then what's true about the two lines?
Exterior angles are equal.
No, not then the alternate and exterior angles are equal. Look, if the alternate follow the pattern. If the corresponding angles are equal, then the lines are parallel. If the alternate interior angles are equal, what? Then the lines are parallel. For instance, let's put a 3 right here. What's true about 2 and 3? They're equal to each other, right? If they're equal to each other, they're alternate interior angles, aren't they? So if the alternate interior angles are equal to each other, guess what I can say about this line and this line? They got to be parallel. Do you see it? Okay. What's the other thing we could say? If the alternate, what?
Exterior.
Right. Exterior angles are equal. Getting a little too excited about this. Then line L is parallel to line M. You get it? So let's say this is a 4 right there. You with me? So watch. If angle 1 is equal to angle 4, they're alternate exterior angles, aren't they? So if 1 and 4, let's say that's the only thing I knew. All right, I didn't know any of this other stuff. Oh, what am I doing? Let's say I didn't know any of this right here. All I knew is that 1 and 4 were equal to each other. What can I say about these two lines? I can say that they're parallel to each other. Because why? Because they're alternate exterior angles. Guys, listen, please. They're alternate exterior angles, and if the alternate exterior angles are equal to each other, then the lines has to be parallel. Now there's another one. What do you think? If the consecutive interior, come on you guys, you got to get these words straight. Okay, we've done these for a long time now. If the consecutive interior angles are not equal, but what? Supplementary. Then, what do you think?
The lines are parallel.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Let's say that this is angle, I don't know, 4, and this is angle 5. Now, I don't say that they're equal to each other, but if somewhere along the line I knew that angle 4 plus angle 5 equals what? 180 degrees. So if I knew that this angle and this angle, not equal to each other, but if I knew that they're supplementary, added up to 180, what then could I say about this line and this line? That they're parallel to, no, not might, that they are going to be parallel. All right, you with me on that? So that's a big difference, isn't it? Earlier, when we first learned this stuff, we started off knowing if the lines are parallel, then we could say a bunch of stuff about those angles. This time we're saying, all right, now we know a bunch of stuff about the angles. So what can now I say about the two lines? That they're parallel. Does that make sense? All right, I think I might have enough time to do one quick example here. I ran out of time in the other class. Let's try to get this in here. Why are people coming in my room? All right, let's take a look. It says, here's the question. It says find, oh, you kidding me already? It says we got 2 minutes on the clock. All right, I'll keep going. It says find angle MRQ. Don't leave yet. Do not leave. Do not leave my room. So that these two lines, A and B, are parallel. Now watch quickly. I'm not going to do the math, but watch. Find MRQ. MRQ is this one right here. So find this angle so that A and B would be parallel. What do you think you're going to do with this angle and this angle? Set them equal to each other. Find X. Put it back in here to find what that angle is, and then they would be parallel, wouldn't they, if they were equal to each other. Let me give you a worksheet before you go. Do not leave. You are responsible for this worksheet.